Welcome to Atlanta CFA Insights. These podcasts will highlight the career journey of members in the Atlanta finance and investment community. Today, we are talking to Steve Davenport about his career as a CFA charter holder, how his firm SunTrust values the CFA designation, and we'll get an overview of Steve's work and insights. We're excited to have Atlanta's financial leaders sit down and take a moment to reflect. So thanks for joining us, Steve.
You're welcome.
So tell me, Steve, how has having the CFA designation impacted your career?
Well, thanks, Emily. I was probably the last person who expected to have a career in finance when I was in college. I started out as a computer science major, and then I turned over into an engineering major, and I really became focused on the quantitative skills and absorbing some quantitative punishment. The environment in manufacturing changed after I graduated, and then I started to look at other areas where were more aligned with my interests, and my passion for the markets came forward. I went back to school at Boston College Knights and got my master's in finance, and then I started working in the finance area. As I started working, I noticed how many people around me had the CFA designation and how it would help me to establish myself as established in this industry. I looked at that and I realized that I should probably spend the time now. I was just started my family, and I was realizing that it was never going to get easier. Your life is only going to get more complicated as your job and your family life grows. So I thought that was the time to do it. I went nights and took the exam and ended up passing. And I realized that it was a great thing to do because the more meetings I was in, the more instances I saw, there were plenty of people who valued it and appreciated the benefit of the CFA designation.
And how does the CFA designation coincide with what your firm SunTrust does and its values?
SunTrust is the number one employer of CFAs in the Atlanta area. And when I think about the CFA designation, I think of the three main principles of professionalism, education, and ethics. And those three ideas are very much aligned with our mission statement and our flag of values. I think that those three things are things that are also personally important to me. I feel good about the fact that I am using the latest information available to help my clients and to help SunTrust to deliver the best product we can. I think that there are plenty of places that have different individuals who are trying to do the right thing for clients. But I believe that there is a higher standard, and if we want to measure up, I think that having a CFA designation helps you to do that.
And what does a typical day entail for you?
I work to utilize equity derivatives for our high net worth clients. Many clients are challenged with the ultra low interest rates. They become used to much higher rates and interest in their fixed income. Many of the trust clients have a 4% payout, and dividends are about 2%. Using call options to override on these equities tries to make up the difference in the dividend and the distribution rate. When I start the day, I look at how foreign markets are going to impact the securities which I'm in charge of. I look at the earnings or company information to see how these developments will move my stocks in the short, medium, and long term. My strategy involves a disciplined approach to gathering income so the client can obtain a consistent cash flow from the options. Derivatives involve some complexity for most investors. My role is as much about education as about asset management. I listen to the client needs and I work to help them with a solution. The use of derivatives is one way to help them with additional income. We've heard about the dark side of derivatives, but this is really a smart part of the story. Options are used every day to help people with needs not only covered by long-only investments. As a CFA, I'm able to keep up to date with the latest research and apply the best practices for the benefits of my clients. When I meet with clients and I share my background, it's very nice to be able to tell the story of an engineer who changed career path with the help of this designation. It is broadly recognized and it gives you a leg up versus others in the marketplace.
As we wrap up here, Steve, do you have any additional insights about your career or the markets that you'd like to share with our listeners?
The emphasis on education as a fire to keep burning versus a bucket to fill is something that always has interested me. I view learning and reading about the latest ideas as a must-do. Education is a lifelong process, and the CFA designation provides a good source of important information. Markets are getting more complicated and they're always changing. As regulations and new participants disrupt the status quo, we have to constantly think about how it affects our holdings and ultimately our value add to clients. We are fortunate to be able to work in a field with such a dynamic process. Every day you come to a new set of economic, political, and business issues. You work to understand the impact these issues have on you and your investment process. I feel grateful for the attainment of the CFA designation, and I believe it prepares me well for helping clients. I have met some great people in the industry, and I continue to be amazed at how much they care about doing the right thing. When I look at our industry, I don't see the same set of skills, knowledge, and values among non-CFA holders. There are great people doing great work, but it is a much wider spectrum in terms of service and ideas. I think CFA is a standard which we can feel good about. With a leadership role, there comes a greater responsibility. I have come to believe that helping the community with financial literacy is a natural action of this leadership. We are the most capable to help others because we are some of the most knowledgeable and most experienced in this area. Our communities are struggling after the correction of 2008 and the slow growth of wages. The concept of money has so many stigmas attached to it, it is not discussed in many homes or schools. When I grew up, I never was talked about with my family. Our role doesn't need to be about creating millionaires. It needs to be about developing confidence. All of us can help by sharing a good article on social media, encouraging individuals to look at our materials, or contributing time or financial resources to the effort. I want to leave the industry better than when I started. I believe it starts with one share, email, or conversation. As we all make the effort, the community is improved.
We at Atlanta CFA Insights have really enjoyed talking with Steve Davenport from SunTrust today. Steve, your insights on your CFA designation, your firm, the markets, and your career have been very helpful. Thanks for talking with us today. Thank you for listening to Atlanta CFA Insights. For more from our members, go to asfip.org/insights and follow our organization on LinkedIn.